Welcome back, everyone. In this touching story, Toan and Diem scraped together their very last pennies to buy a warm coat for the old woman who saved Toan during his darkest hour. The old woman trembled as she accepted the gift, tears of happiness streaming down her face. You'd think this was a happy ending for a life filled with misery. But no. The very moment Toan and Diem turned their backs to leave was the moment the Grim Reaper began to smile. Why did their savior collapse in sheer terror the instant she heard the words, "Forbidden Hill is the hut that Thu enthusiastically built a new home"? Or is it a death trap meant to bury a secret from the past forever? Kindness or malice, filial piety, or naively walking to their deaths? Don't miss this heartbreaking yet chilling story. Hit like to pray for Toan's safety and subscribe right now to join us in uncovering the mystery on that cursed hill. The truth begins right now. Dawn in the highlands never comes early. A blanket of milky white fog still hugged the stilt houses, seeping through every crack in the wooden doors, carrying the biting chill of the mountains. Diem woke up to the sound of wild chickens crowing from the cliffside. She shivered slightly, wrapping a thin coat around herself, her eyes dark with circles from sleepless nights filled with worry. Today was harvest day. The seasons wait, for no one just like poverty and hunger have never let go of lives like hers and Toan's. Diem tiptoed down the wooden stairs. She planned to head straight to the fields to work while the weather was still cool. But she froze at the very last step. In the dimly lit kitchen, flickering with firelight, two figures sat opposite each other. It was Thu and his mother. The silence was strange. No clinking of bowls or chopsticks, no lively laughter like usual, just the popping sound of burning charcoal and the warmth radiating from a pot of green tea. Thu's mother sat there, her kind face etched with worry, lines fidgeting with the hem of her shirt. Every now and then, she would glance at her son and sigh softly. As for Thu, he sat as still as a rock, staring into the dancing flames, looking deep in thought, as if calculating something massive. "Is that you, Diem, you're up?" Thu's mother's voice broke the silence, startling Diem. She quickly stepped down, forcing a smile to hide her confusion. "Yes, good morning, Mom. Good morning, Brother Thu. I wanted to head out early while it's still cool." "Wait, Diem." Thu spoke up, his voice deep and decisive. He looked up, locking eyes with her. Gone was his usual playful look, replaced by a strange seriousness. "Come sit here. Mom and I have something important to discuss with you." Diem's heart skipped a beat. What could be so important at this hour? Was his family tired of her coming and going, asking for help? Or had something bad happened to Toan? She timidly pulled up a rattan chair and sat by the fire, clasping her hands together in anxiety. Thu poured a hot bowl of green tea and slid it toward Diem. Steam rose up, hitting her face, but it couldn't chase away the nervousness inside her. "Diem." Thu started, his voice softening. "I haven't seen you smile in days. I know you're worried about Toan. It's a long way to travel running back and forth to visit him while worrying about the farm work. You don't have the strength to keep this up." Diem lowered her head. "I can handle it. Brother Toan is suffering more than I am. But it can't go on like this." Thu cut her off firmly. He pointed toward the mist-covered hill behind the house. "I've figured it out. I haven't been working the fields the last few days because I was up on Forbidden Hill." Forbidden Hill. Diem was surprised. That was a desolate place where few people went. "Yeah, I finished building a hut up there." Thu said, his eyes lighting up with pride mixed with genuine concern. "The hut is solid. Ironwood pillars, thick palm leaf roofing, no storm can touch it. I even set up a bamboo bed and built a stove. It's quiet, the air is fresh, and it's right near our cornfield. Thu's mother chimed in, patting Diem's hand soothingly. Thu wants to bring Toan there to live. If you two move up there, it's easier to take care of each other and you won't have to travel so much. I'm getting old. The house is cramped. It's not convenient for you two to stay here and leaving Toan at someone else's place forever. Well, I feel bad for him. Diem was stunned. She looked at Thu, then at his mother. Tears welled up in her eyes. It turned out the silence earlier was because they were worrying about her. Thu had been silently toiling away for days, cutting bamboo, carrying wood, to build a home for her and Toan. It might just be a makeshift shack, but it was a home, a sanctuary, where they could lean on each other safe from the judging eyes of the world. Brother Thu, Diem choked up, lost for words. Don't mention it. Thu waved his hand dismissively. Toan is like a brother to me. Seeing him sick with no memory, living off the charity of others, I can't stand it. It might be a bit lonely up at the hut, but it's yours. Do you want to bring him home today? Thu's question was the key unlocking a door of hope. Living in the hut, cooking every meal for Toan with her own hands, being by his side every night without worrying whenever the wind picked up. It was a luxury she had desperately craved, but then the smile just forming on Diem's lips vanished. Another image flashed in her mind. A hunchbacked old woman with hair as white as cotton and wrinkled hands that held infinite warmth. Diem set the tea bowl down, her gaze drifting into the distance. Brother Thu, Mom, I will never forget your kindness for the rest of my life. Moving to the hut is the best thing for Toan right now. But Diem hesitated, her voice dropping. I need to ask Toan first. And more importantly, there's the old grandmother. Thu frowned. The old lady next door. Yes. Diem nodded, her voice trembling with emotion. You know that when Toan was at his lowest, when we were penniless and chased away by everyone, she was the one who opened her arms to take him in. She's not family by blood, and she's poor too, but she saved every spare potato or cassava root for Toan. Diem recalled the stormy nights when Toan was in pain. The old woman stayed up all night boiling herbal water for him. She treated Toan like the son she had lost, combing his hair and telling stories to help him forget the pain of his amnesia. A sacred bond had formed between them, stronger than blood. Toan is a sentimental man. Diem continued, eyes welling up. He sees her as a mother, to suddenly leave her all alone in that house. I'm afraid Toan won't agree, and she will be so heartbroken. She's old. If she thinks we're abandoning her just because we found a better place, it would be cruel. Silence filled the room again. Thu nodded, deep in thought. He understood Diem's dilemma. Financial debts are easy to pay, but debts of gratitude weigh as heavy as a mountain. Thu's mother sighed and nodded in agreement. You're right, Diem. When eating fruit, remember who planted the tree. We can't be ungrateful. Go discuss it with Toan. See what he thinks, then find a gentle way to tell the old woman. Don't let her feel abandoned. Diem stood up, adjusting her conical hat. Her heart felt heavy, but a resolve lit up inside her. Yes, I'll go right now. After the harvest, I'll go to Toan. If he agrees, I'll talk to her gently. Even if we move, we will never abandon her. Thu stood up and patted his little sister on the shoulder. All right, go. If you need help, Just call. The hut is ready. The keys are yours whenever you want." Diem stepped out of the house. The sky was brighter, but the fog lingered. The dirt road leading to the old woman's house and the cornfields felt unusually long today. She walked lost in thought. How to broach this with Toan? Toan always felt like a burden. If he knew Thu worked so hard to build the hut, would he agree, or would he be afraid of causing trouble? And most importantly, how to say goodbye to the old woman without breaking her lonely heart. At the edge of the forest, Diem saw a familiar figure bent over in the cornfield. It was Toan. Though his eyes couldn't see, his hands moved deftly, snapping each corn cob. He worked in silence, his frayed brown shirt soaked in sweat. Beside him, the bamboo basket was full. The old woman wasn't there. She was likely home cooking. "Brother Toan." Diem called out, her voice blending with the wind. Toan looked up, his sightless eyes turning toward the sound. But the smile on his lips was as radiant as the morning sun. "Diem, why are you here so early today?" Diem ran to him, holding his hands, her heart aching at the bleeding scratches on his thin fingers. "You didn't wear gloves again," she scolded lovingly, then lowered her voice to a serious tone. "Take a break. I have something very important to tell you." Toan felt the tremor in Diem's voice. He fumbled for her hand and squeezed it tight. "What is it? Is there trouble at Brother Thu's house?" Diem took a deep breath, looking at the thatched cottage behind the bamboo hedge, then up at Forbidden Hill, in the distance where the new hut stood. "Brother Thu, he built us a hut on the hill. He wants to bring you there." Toan's hand trembled slightly. "Move there," Toan mumbled. "But what about Grandma?" Before Diem could even answer, the sound of dogs barking furiously echoed from the distance, followed by a frantic scream coming from the direction of the old woman's house. "Brother Toan, Miss Diem, come back quick. Grandma. Something's wrong with Grandma." Diem and Toan both jumped. Toan nearly dropped the corn in his hand. A bad omen washed over them instantly. Had she found out? Or had a disaster struck right at the moment they planned to leave? The story of the new hut and the debt of gratitude was left hanging as another storm seemed to be rolling in. After the corn harvest, the afternoon sun cast a weak golden glow over the red dirt road leading to the small town. The last ears of corn were packed neatly into sacks. The raw scent of fresh corn stalks mixed with the damp earth after the fog, creating that distinct smell of a harvest just finished. Toan wiped the sweat from his forehead and sat down on the grassy bank, his sightless eyes looking toward the horizon, listening to the sound of Diem tying off the top of a sack. "Diem!" Toan spoke up, his voice low and hesitating. Diem stopped working and turned to look at him. "Yes, I'm listening, Brother Toan. Are you tired?" "No." Toan shook his head, fingering a dry corn husk in his hand. "I've been thinking about moving to the hut like you said this morning. I agree. Maybe it's the best way to stop burdening everyone, and it gives us a place to call our own." Diem breathed a sigh of relief, a smile spreading across her lips. "It's good that you think that way. Brother Thu is very kind. The hut he built is very solid, but Diem..." Toan's voice cracked with emotion. "Before we go, I want to do one thing. I want to buy the old lady something. A gift." He pulled a small cloth bundle from his chest pocket. Inside were a few crumpled small bills he had saved from weaving baskets all this time. All my life and my darkest hours, she sheltered me. She's not my blood, but she loved me like her own son. Now that we're leaving like this, I feel so ungrateful. I want to thank her, even if it's just a small gesture. Diem looked at the wad of small change in Toan's hand, her nose stinging with tears. She walked over and held his rough hand. You're right, Brother Toan. We must repay her kindness properly. I noticed. Diem paused, recalling. The nights have been getting cold lately, and I heard her coughing a lot. The coat she wears is all torn and patched. The wind cuts right through it. How about we buy her a padded winter coat, the warmest kind? Toan's face lit up, a rare childlike joy appearing on his weathered face. Yes, a warm coat. Winter is coming. She's old. Her bones ache. She needs a warm coat. Diem, will you take me to buy it? Right now. Yes. Let's go right now. With the money from this corn and your savings, we can definitely buy the most beautiful coat for her. Two figures, a man and a woman, led each other along the dusty dirt road toward the district market. Diem walked ahead, leading the way. Toan rested his hand on her shoulder, walking unevenly, but full of excitement. Miss May's clothing store was right at the market entrance. Seeing the two walk in their clothes, still dusted with corn husks, the shop owner was a bit surprised, but remained welcoming. What are you two looking for? Just finished the harvest. Yes, ma'am, Diem said politely. Please help us choose a padded coat for an elderly person, the thickest, warmest kind. But please keep the price reasonable. Miss May nodded, pulling down several puffer jackets and wool coats in various colors from the shelf. Toan stood there, his hands groping the air. Diem let me touch them. Diem guided Toan's hand to each coat. Toan stroked the fabric carefully. He didn't see colors. He saw with his feelings. This one's too thin. Toan shook his head, touching a windbreaker. This fabric is a bit stiff, might make her itch. He commented on a rough wool coat. On the third one, a fleece-lined quilted coat. Toan's hand stopped. He squeezed the soft cotton padding, then slipped his hand inside the lining. A feeling of warmth instantly spread to his palm. This is the one, Diem. Toan's voice trembled. It's very thick, soft as a mother's hand. What color is it? It's the color of a ripe plum. Diem smiled, her eyes sparkling. It's a very noble color. She'll look clean and beautiful like a fairy. Ripe plum. Toan mumbled, imagining the color in his eternal darkness. Okay, let's take this one. How much is it, ma'am? When the shop owner stated the price, Diem flinched slightly. That amount was nearly everything they had earned from this corn harvest. She looked at Toan with worry, but Toan didn't hesitate for a second. He dumped the entire fistful of small change from his pocket, trembling, as he counted each bill onto the glass counter. Is it enough, ma'am? If it's short, I promise I'll weave more baskets to pay the rest in a few days. The shop owner looked at the two of them, let out a sigh, then smiled and waved her hand dismissively. Forget it. I'll give it to you at cost. Seeing you two so devoted makes me happy. Go on. Take it to give to Grandma. Toan clutched the coat wrapped in plastic to his chest like a treasure. All the way back, he kept smiling to himself, his steps seemingly much lighter. By the time they reached the old woman's thatched cottage, twilight had set in. She was sitting on the porch, picking vegetables, her hunched shadow cast against the patchy clay wall. Hearing footsteps, she looked up, squinting her cloudy eyes. "Toan and Diem, is that you? Where have you been so late? Have you eaten yet?" That simple, familiar question tightened Diem's chest. It was the concern of a mother waiting for her children to come home. "Grandma, we're back," Toan said quickly, fumbling to find where she was sitting. "Please stand up, I have something for you." Diem helped the old woman up. Toan's hands trembled as he opened the plastic bag and pulled out the plum-colored coat. He clumsily draped it over her shoulders. "Oh my! What is this?" She was stunned, touching the soft fabric. "A new coat. Why would you buy this for an old woman? It must be so expensive, children." "It wasn't expensive, Grandma." Toan smiled, though his voice cracked. "I've been working and saved some wages. Winter is coming, you need to be warm. Please try it on." Diem helped her slip her arms into the sleeves and zipped it up. It fit perfectly. Standing there in the brand new coat, she looked completely different. She stroked the hem, old tears streaming down her wrinkled cheeks. "It's so beautiful, so warm. In my entire life, I've never worn anything this warm." "Oh, you silly boy. Why spend the money? You should have saved it for food." She scolded him lovingly, but her hand gripped Toan's, tightly refusing to let go. They sat down on the bamboo cot. The atmosphere was incredibly warm, but Diem knew the hardest moment had arrived. She signaled Toan. Toan took a deep breath, holding the old woman's gaunt hand. "Grandma, what is it, son? Is something wrong?" The old woman sharply noticed the change in Toan's voice. "In a few days, I'd like to ask your permission to move out." The old woman's hand twitched in Toan's grasp. Time seemed to freeze. The chirping of crickets suddenly became deafening. Move out." Her voice was lost, tiny. "Where are you going? Are you leaving this old woman behind?" Diem rushed to intervene. Her voice hurried to clear up the misunderstanding. "No, Grandma. He's not abandoning you. It's Brother Thu. Out of kindness, he built us a hut up on Forbidden Hill. It's so Toan can be closer to the fields, and so we can be independent. Staying here forever, burdening you in this small house, we feel terrible about it." The old woman fell silent. She bowed her head low. In the flickering light of the oil lamp, Diem saw her thin shoulders shaking violently. She didn't cry out loud, but the sadness was thick in the air. This house was already lonely. Toan's laughter over the past few months had brought a little joy. Now that he was leaving, she would be left alone, with her shadow once again. After a long while, the old woman looked up. She tried to force a toothless smile, but her eyes were brimming with tears. Yes, it's right to go. When a fledgling's wings are strong, it must fly. You two are young. You have to build your future. Staying forever in this rotting corner with a senile old woman, you'll never get ahead. She patted Toan's hand. Up there, work hard. Is the hut draft-proof? If you lack bowls, chopsticks, or pots, just tell me. I'll scrape some together for you to take. Her words broke the dam inside Toan. He burst into tears, like a child burying his head in the old woman's shoulder. Grandma, I don't want to go, but I have to. I owe you my life. You are my mother in my heart. Diem couldn't hold back her tears either. She hugged them both. 3 miserable souls leaning on each other in the dim light of the oil lamp. Don't worry, Grandma, Diem sobbed. The hut is just up the hill. We'll stop by every day after work. I'll still come down to do your laundry and cook for you. We aren't going far." The old woman nodded, wiping Toan's tears. Then Diem's, "Hush. Now stop crying. This coat is very warm. Wearing this, it feels like Toan is still hugging me. I'll be a little sad when you leave, but I'm happy for you." That night, the farewell dinner was meager, just boiled vegetables and a bowl of fish sauce, but overflowing with love. They talked about the future, about the upcoming corn harvest, trying to ignore the truth that tomorrow this house would be cold and empty again. But none of them knew that this separation wasn't just a change of address. Leaving the old woman's protection to step onto that desolate hill was the first step into a carefully laid trap. A warm coat to repay a debt of gratitude, a tear-soaked hug among 3 miserable souls. You thought Toan and Diem were leaving to start a better life in that little hut. But no. The very moment Toan and Diem disappeared over the slope, the gentle smile on the old woman's lips vanished instantly. She trembled, staring toward Forbidden Hill, where the new hut stood isolated amidst the wild, toxic forest. Her eyes went wide with horror as a terrifying memory from the past came rushing back. Forbidden Hill. Why did Thu take him up? Forbidden Hill. Does he not know about the ancient curse? She tried to scream for Toan to turn back, but a violent coughing fit seized her. She collapsed onto the porch, her hand reaching hopelessly into the darkness. What awaits Toan and Diem on that cursed hill? Is Brother Thu's kindness real? Or is there a vicious plot behind it to steal Diem and push Toan to his death? The bone-chilling truth will be revealed in the next episode. Subscribe right now and leave your prediction in the comments. Don't miss out, because the next episode will be a night of horror no one could imagine.